This is Couples Court with the Cutlers.
This is the case of Henry versus Henry. You all are newlyweds, newly married, and Miss Henry, you believe your musician husband is making music with somebody else. Tell me why you think he's cheating.
Well, like you said, we are newlyweds. But I think he's cheating on me with his singers because I have found some sexy text messages.
Oh. Ron, would you please bring those to us?
Now, you say his singers. Thank you. What kind of business is he in?
Yeah.
He's a producer.
Okay.
He does studio work. They does music together.
And you found these texts in his phone?
In his phone.
Tell me how you found them.
Well, I was in the bed, and sometimes he'd leave the room and his phone would be going off. I looked in his phone, and that's what I saw.
This is what you saw. Okay. It says, "It's blank. You gave me your number at the mall."
Oh, what's up? With the heart smiley faces. I was expecting you to text me a lot sooner.
I was wondering if I could get some studio time in.
When you trying to come through? I can come scoop you up tonight if you want.
Tonight, I'm with it. Smiley face with hearts.
Okay, send me your address and make sure you get that throat nice and moist.
You see what I see?
It was harmless.
In his
It was
phone.
nothing. It was
Okay,
nothing.
who you telling to get her throat nice and moist?
Just one of the female clients that I met at the mall one day. She told me she did music, and I invited her over. It was harmless, a little harmless flirting.
Why would you be telling her to get her throat nice and moist?
She's a singer. She has to keep her throat moist.
Now, I do know that's true. When you sing, they drink hot tea
That's
and
some
lemon.
warm water or something, you know.
But you see the
Some
wet
lemon water.
emojis?
Yeah.
Why do you got? You don't need all that.
You know, I'm a very expressive individual, so I use the emojis.
I don't know though, because this is somebody he just met. This isn't somebody he knows. This is
Exactly.
somebody he just met. And
Yeah.
you leading off with that.
Flirting is part of my personality, you know. And by me doing music, it's part of the business. Sometimes you got to go that extra mile to make people feel comfortable, whatever it takes to make that money, you know?
Well, I think that's what Miss Henry's concern is, that you're going that extra mile. That extra mile might be a
Exactly,
little
that
too
extra
far.
mile.
Hey, Your
too
Honor, let
far.
me start by saying, first off, my wife knows that I love her, like, to the end of the earth. Like, I would do anything for this lady. She knows how much I respect her, how much I love her, so I don't even know why she would think that I would do anything outside of our marriage to jeopardize our relationship, honestly.
Well, there's a second text here. And it is a picture of a woman. She's turned around and she's showing her backside. And it says, "Hey, it's blank from yesterday. I forgot to text you. Kiss, kiss."
And you respond, "About time. I see you like making grand entrances."
Grand entry, you know?
Grand
she sent
entrances.
the text, you know, got her backside out. I mean,
And
she
you
has
responded by putting peaches up.
she has a nice shape. That's it. That's all it
Everybody
was.
know what the peach emojis mean.
Exactly.
Got a nice
Everybody
shape.
know
Yeah.
what that means.
She got a nice shape. That's
Okay, are you producing for her?
Yes, well, I was, not at the moment now, you know, because I want to lay these allegations to rest. Yeah. What I choose to do in my career is separate from my marriage, you know, but I don't do anything that jeopardizes my marriage. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go to that limit, and she knows that.
But you see how Miss Henry thinks you're getting real close to the line when you send these messages, right?
I do.
And so that's what's got her suspicions up that something else is going on.
Because what I'm looking at, and I just want you to see it, because I'm sitting here looking at her, she's hurt. Tell him how you're feeling.
I feel hurt, heartbroken, and I don't want our marriage to end because of something that necessarily may not be true. But when you got all these facts building up against you, then what am I supposed to think?
All right.
And you know what put the icing on the cake for me?
Okay, what else you got?
I have a picture of our apartment,
Okay.
and
Step to the monitor.
Tell us what we're looking at.
right now you're looking at our apartment. I work third shift, so
Okay.
I get off work at 7 in the morning.
Okay.
But this night I got off at 3 in the morning. So I'm expecting to come home and lay in the bed with my husband. He's not in the bed.
Tell me what these two doors are.
This is our bedroom,
Okay.
and this is the studio.
All right.
So with him not being in the bed, I goes to the studio. The door is locked. I can't even get in.
Okay.
Is that okay?
We don't do locked doors in our house.
Oh.
So he doesn't lock the studio door when he's normally in there?
No.
So what happens next?
I listen for a minute. And me listening, I hear giggling and moaning. And I'm like, where's that coming from? Well, why we got that? So I start beating on the door.
Okay, and so then what happens?
So then it takes him a couple minutes to actually open the door. Too long to open the door. And when he opens the door, we've got his clothes all messed up and her boobs is
That's not true.
partially out of her clothes.
That's not true.
That's too much for me.
So there's a woman in the studio with him.
Yes.
And then when he opened it, he was disheveled and she was partially
Her
unfolded.
boobs almost hanging out of her clothes.
That's not true.
All right,
Mr. Henry.
First of all, let me start by saying I have OCD really bad. So before I go to bed, you know, at night, I make sure my front door is locked probably about 10 to 15 times. I go check the door, make sure it's locked, because I've been in a couple instances where, you know, I've been in the house and somebody done got in that ain't supposed to be there. So I locked the door, yes I did, and I wasn't expecting her to get home that early because, you know, usually she gets off, like she said, around 7.
But Mr. Henry, that's when people get caught when they're not expecting somebody else to come home. That's why
realize
people
that.
come home early sometimes.
Exactly.
You're right. You're right about that, but I wasn't expecting her.
And she says you don't normally lock the door to your studio.
I do in certain instances, you know.
What are
I'm not
those
there.
instances?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, sometimes it gets noisy, so if I want to block out noise, I'll close the door. You know,
But
sometimes
you ain't
when
gotta lock it to block out the noise.
Yeah.
that's just me. Like I said, I have OCD, so I locked it.
Okay, so why was the lady half dressed when your wife came in?
She was not half dressed. She had on like this, like sports bra / shirt. It wasn't revealing, you know. It wasn't revealing her boobs or anything like she said it was.
It was showing too much.
But your wife says there was giggling and moaning. How do you explain that?
We were recording a session, and the song that she was doing, she was just putting like the finishing touches on it, ad-libs, things of that nature. And I guess it was a little sensual, a little too sensual. And what she heard, what sounded like moaning, was actually ad-libs. It was like, you know, she was caressing the beat, so to speak.
Caressing the beat.
Yeah. Which
Caressing
beat was
the
she
beat.
caressing, right?
Right.
That's what you asking.
But Miss Henry, that could be part of a song, right? I mean, that could be part of a love song, a
Could be,
slow song.
but at the time at 3 o'clock in the morning,
With the door locked,
the door locked,
and you're not expecting
not
help
what
for
I'm
3 to
thinking.
4 hours.
I'm not thinking about no music at no 3 o'clock
But
in the
Miss
morning.
Henry,
I'm
a
hearing
lot of
what I'm
musicians
hearing.
work overnight. I mean, that's when they get their best work in, is the late night hours, right?
Exactly.
No.
But Ms. Herring wants to know, is he doing his best work or breast work? Am I right?
You got it. You got it.
That's the problem.
So, Mr. Henry, you're saying that was just part of the song.
It was. That was just me coaching her. You know, sometimes for certain people, you have to coach them and you have to kind of bring the music to life, you know? And that's all it was, honestly. It was nothing physical or sexual going on in that room.
And so as you're coaching them, I mean, are you showing them how to do it? And then they respond? So are both of you all moaning and are both of you all doing this?
No. I mean, I'm kind of good at vocal coaching too, so I was kind of like showing her what to do and where to go and how high to go.
Was her voice nice and moist?
Yeah, we had a couple bottles of water in there, so yes, it
Yeah.
was. I made sure it was.
So do you work with multiple singers, lots of different women singers?
To be honest, actually, it's rare that I work with female singers. I just started allowing myself to do so because I was skeptical because of this situation. I knew something like this would happen, honestly. And it didn't sound like a good idea at first, but then, you know, when it comes to making money, you gotta do what you gotta do.
And so you've had a number of female singers that you started working with to be in your studio,
Yes, unbeknownst to her.
unbeknownst to her, sometimes at night while she's at work.
Yes.
And so that's not unusual in your mind, right?
No, it's not, because in the music industry, you're gonna be working with all kinds of people, and she has to accept that. She's gonna have to learn to accept that.
I accept that. I really do. But when I come home and I'm hearing what I'm hearing,
That's a problem.
yes.
Well, there's the wife side, there's the husband side, and there's the woman in the studio side. She's here. Ron, would you escort her in, please? Good day.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great, and yourself?
We're good. We're good. Would you please state your name for the court record?
My name is Destiny August.
Okay, Miss August. What is your relationship with the defendant, Mr. Henry?
Well, I met Josh a few years back in Atlanta, and we started working at the same job, became great friends. I found out that he was a music producer, and I do music as well. I sing R&B, and I decided to fly over to Flint, get some late night sessions in,
Nothing against Mr. Henry, but he's not like Puff Daddy or DJ Khaled. So what is it about him that made you say, I'm gonna not only go and make that part of my trip, but stay a while to make it happen?
I mean, when we were in Atlanta, he did let me hear a good amount of his music with other people, and he's very talented. I believe that he's gonna, do something really special one day.
So how long were you there?
I would say like a month. So there were like a lot of sessions, but like I said, we made beautiful music.
And I think that's what Miss Henry's concerned about, that you all are making beautiful music together.
At these late night sessions.
But it wasn't nothing major, like, he helped me warm up, we sang, He was a bit flirtatious, but that's the way the industry works. He's trying to get the best product out of me.
Okay, so what was your recording session like?
Well, like I said, he is very flirtatious, and I understand 100% where you're coming from. He is a really attractive man, and I'm a beautiful woman as well, but it's strictly just, professional, like we made the music, we laid down the tracks, I went back to Atlanta, plus my man wouldn't be very happy with me cheating on him either.
But Miss Henry says she's hearing moaning and oohing and ahhing and giggling and all that. That doesn't sound like making music.
Have you guys met Josh? He's super charming, super smooth. He's cracking jokes, trying to make me feel comfortable, Like,
Ms. August, I'm gonna ask you the question. Was there any physical sexual contact or sexual intercourse with Mr. Henry?
Not at all. Never.
You're saying it was strictly professional?
Strictly professional.
I hope so.
Miss Henry, you don't look like you even trying to buy this.
I'm not at all.
Well, Mr. Cutler, I think we have enough. I think we need to figure this out.
I think we do.
What is at stake, Miss Henry, if you would find out that Mr. Henry has not been faithful?
Our marriage.
So it's all on the line. This
Yes.
newly minted marriage could just go away.
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Honestly, I just want to see the look on her face when she finds out I'm not cheating.
At this time, the court would like to call licensed certified polygraph examiner Kendall Shull to determine, is he cheating? Ron, will you escort him in? How are you, Mr. Shull?
I'm great, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm good. For the benefit of our litigants, I want them to know that you spent almost 30 years with the FBI, you headed up their polygraph examination, and that you literally have done thousands of polygraphs. Is that correct?
Thank you, Your Honor. That's correct. I have.
All right, so you asked Mr. Henry, the day Mrs. Henry came home and heard you and the singer in the studio, did you have physical sexual contact with that singer that day? What was his response?
He said no.
What did the lie detector determine? What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being truthful, Your Honor.
All right.
That's
A
only
little
one.
bit of smile. Little
That's
bit of a
only one.
smile. That's only one. All right. He's grinning though. I just want to point that out. Okay.
You asked Mr. Henry, since getting married, have you had physical sexual contact with anyone other than Miss Henry? What was his response to that question?
He said no, Your Honor.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being truthful, Your Honor.
I told you.
All right,
What you got to say
so
now?
Miss Henry, I think you got something you need to do right now.
Well, she's smiling right now, so that's one step.
Go on over there. Go on over there. Show him some love.
I'm sorry.
All right, let's talk about this thing. Miss Henry,
Yes.
He's so cute.
I know, ain't
I just want to do this to him. And
how you
really, we know that the entertainment industry is based, you can't advance unless you're charming and people are attracted to you. So that's gonna be part of the business.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to give him some grace and some
That is
love.
true, I am. I'm gonna have to put a little bit more trust in myself and him.
And then Mr. Henry,
right.
stop locking them studio doors.
I got you.
All right.
All right.
You all been together 2.5 years and you have one child. Miss Maine, why have you brought your boyfriend to court today?
I'm here to find out if he's been cheating on me. I've used some fake Facebooks and some fake phone numbers to find out some information, things like that. And I don't want my child to grow up here and us bicker and argue about this stuff, so.
What does that make you feel like?
It's just constantly crying and being upset, and I don't want my child to see that, really.
Mr. Maines, you've heard what your girlfriend has alleged. What are you here to prove today?
I'm here to prove that I'm not cheating on her. I love her. We just had a baby girl.
So you hope that the results of today's hearing will show that you are not cheating, that you've been faithful to her, and that you're ready to move forward with her.
Correct.
So there have been periods, though, where you have been happy, where
Yes.
you have found that things are good.
Yes, we started out really happy, and then
Tell me how you started, how you met.
we knew each other through mutual friends. We never really met. So sent him a message on Facebook, and he said, come hang out, so I did.
What made you stay with him? What did you like about him?
He was always trying to do things like go canoeing, go here, do this, like really outdoorsy, always something to do, having fun, so.
He took you out, he did things for you.
Yes.
Was this the first gentleman to really make you feel that way?
Yes, definitely.
And so you were in it, in it then.
I was in it, yes.
How was he different from your other boyfriends in the past? What did he do that was different from them?
The first thing that got me was I was having car problems. I really didn't know him that well, and he helped me, offered to help me fix my vehicle. He spent money on helping me fix the vehicle.
All right.
That was really impressive to me, being that we weren't together that long.
So he was willing to spend money to make your world right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good thing, Mr.
Good
Chuck.
thing, yeah.
That's a good thing. So you've had this wonderful start. You've got a man that cares about you. He's demonstrating it. He's taking you places. He's taking care of your car when you need it. What went wrong? Why are we here?
Well, there was a situation where I didn't have a vehicle, so we weren't seeing each other a lot. He was taking the bus to come and visit me a lot of weekends, and then one weekend he just didn't come, wasn't answering the phone. So after I continuously calling him, finally he answers the phone. He's like, I'm spending time with my kids. I don't got time for this, which he never acted like that. Next thing you know, he hands the phone to a woman, and she tells me that they are now in a relationship. I need to stop calling him and that they are going to be together that night.
All right, so Mr. Maines, did you disappear for a weekend?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. I met the girl at the river that I take her to a lot.
And what happened?
We slept together.
At the same place you take your girlfriend,
Yes, Your Honor.
another girl at the river, and you all had sex.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why did you go without your girlfriend in the first place?
That's when she didn't have no vehicle.
Okay.
And so you just left her?
Yeah, yeah.
How did you find out about this? You're saying that you called him, you finally got a hold of him.
At first, he was trying to act like nothing was going on, but once I pushed those buttons, he was mad enough at me to confess, I guess, to hurt my feelings.
All right, so you called him. What did you say when you called him?
You're not with nobody else. Nobody else wants you. So
He said, oh, I'll show you.
He said, oh, yeah,
And hand it
put her
off.
on the phone.
All right, so I'm sure she didn't get on the phone and say, I had sex with your boyfriend.
She didn't start it off that way. She said, I'm with him. We're in a relationship now. We slept together once, and we're gonna do it again tonight.
So wait. How did you feel when she said that to you?
I was very, very hurt. I could not sleep that night. I was crying. I mean, but as I'm crying, I'm still continuing to call the phone just to aggravate the situation, make them not have a good time with each other.
So, Miss Ratti, what did he have to do for you to take him back?
I just wanted him to tell the truth. So once he told the truth, as much as it hurt, I was glad that he wasn't playing the game anymore.
How do you get past your boyfriend saying, yeah, here, talk to her?
At this point, I was really, really in love with him, so I was basically hoping that he would not stay with this woman and come back to me.
And how long had you been with him at this point?
This was a year into our relationship.
All right, once you got your second chance, you were good, like, okay, I got a second chance, I'm not gonna blow this. You haven't done anything else.
Correct.
Okay.
But you still think he's doing something?
Yeah, there's been incidents since that day that still have me suspicious.
Tell me about that.
There was an incident when I was working at a delivery pizza job. I'm driving around and I catch wind from a friend that he is at a bar with another female. He frequents the bar, but this is a bar he doesn't go into. So this was a little weird to find out that he's at this bar. So I turn around, skirt, go back, and I want to see what he's doing at this bar. They were leaned in, and I initially flew off the handle, so.
Can you cross the aisle and show me what that looked like with your boyfriend?
He's like this, looking down.
No, it wasn't, Your Honor.
And so you would be him and
No, it wasn't.
you were showing what he was doing?
Yes,
All right.
it was him.
So you deny this, Mr. Maines?
Yes.
Okay, what were you and this woman doing?
Nothing, just talking.
Did you tell Miss Ratti you were going to this bar?
No.
No.
That's what initially got me upset.
She was working
He was
at the time.
sneaking around, and that's what got me upset. He didn't want to tell me his whereabouts or answer the phone. So when I figured out where he was, I confronted him in person.
Well, Miss Ratti, you can go to a bar if you're working, right? I mean, you're not at home.
Just communicate. That's what I asked, and he wasn't doing that. He wasn't telling me where he was or who he was with, and he was not answering the phone. That's what initially got me upset.
All right,
I feel if you're not answering your phone, something's up.
So, Mr. Maines, were you avoiding her phone calls?
That night, no. My phone died actually that night.
He always says his phone
What?
died.
Oh,
This man
phone
needs
died.
a
Phone died,
charger
yeah.
bad, because his phone is always dead.
What about when you two are together? Is this phone ever dead?
Never dead when we're together.
Mr.
Yeah.
Cutler, our boys, when we're trying to find them, Mama, the phone was dead. That's why I didn't answer. I'm like,
But when they're with us, phone's going off all
Or
the time.
they need money, the phone works fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then when they put me out the bar, he didn't come out.
Okay, you gotta go out when they put her out.
I went out.
You got
stayed
thrown
in
out
there.
the bar and he stayed in.
And I expected him to come with me and leave with me. That's what I would have expected, especially if he felt he wasn't doing nothing wrong. Why wouldn't he leave with me?
Your Honor, I did leave with her. It took me a couple of minutes, but I did leave with her that night.
Actually, he called me a
Okay.
couple hours later and had me come back and pick him up.
Okay,
but he
Miss Ratti, what is-
stayed there. He stayed there. He stayed. We were doing fine. Everything was fine. Again, he wasn't answering my calls. He was being evasive towards me suddenly. And I'm with a friend of mine, and she proceeds to tell me that his ex-girlfriend is at the house right now while we were in the car. So again, turn the car around.
She just
and
stayed
causes
over that
scene.
night. She needed
Okay.
somewhere to sleep.
Go
I
ahead.
felt bad for her. Let her sleep over.
All right, so you admit your ex-girlfriend was at your house.
Correct.
Just out of the blue, she contacted you and
Yeah,
said,
correct.
I need somewhere to stay.
Yeah, correct, Your Honor.
She didn't have anybody else she could call?
Her and her current
no.
boyfriend were fighting or breaking up, and she decides to call him for a place to stay. That's a little fishy.
Okay, so where was your ex-girlfriend planning on sleeping?
I in my bed.
With you?
Yeah,
Do you see anything wrong with this picture?
yeah.
Oh,
That was
okay.
stupid.
So you show up. Then what happens?
He has family members there. They're blocking the door, kind of not letting me in because they know that I want to probably hurt somebody in there because I was really, really upset. And she's just in the background saying, I don't want your man. I don't want your man. You need to stop. Well, why are you in there?
And why are you trying to sleep in his bed, right?
Right, exactly.
Did he ever come out and see what you wanted or talk to you?
No.
Dude.
Mr. Man.
Let me just say this. Mr. Cutler hadn't had an ex-girlfriend in 35 years. But if she showed up, I would show out. So let me just be very clear about that. So I understand.
Well, you have ex-boyfriends contacting you on Facebook or other places.
And why do you know that, Mr. Cutler? Now watch this, Mr. Maines. Why do you know that, Mr. Cutler?
I know that because you told me.
Immediately.
Immediately.
I told him what? It was nice visiting, but
you didn't want to continue having contact with him.
There it is. You see how you do that? But you didn't have to go check my inbox. You didn't have to go and be my friend and check my post. It was handled right then. What else has he done that makes you think he's cheating?
Just Facebook messages that I find of him talking to women, telling them they're pretty, do they want to hang out?
You're contacting women on social media?
Yeah, on Facebook.
What were you telling her?
Just, hey, hi. Stupid stuff.
Stupid stuff like?
You look beautiful.
Yeah.
And so what do they tell you?
Thank you.
Could she go on Facebook and talk to other men and say, "Oh, you look handsome, you look good"? Would you like that?
No.
Okay, this is simple. If you don't want her to do it, you shouldn't be doing it.
You're right.
I made a fake Facebook one time, and here's what he said to that person that he thought was somebody. He said, "You're too pretty to be single."
Was it a picture of you or somebody else?
Somebody else. I set him up.
So you did a little catfishing?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand why she has some concerns? You met her online. You wooed her
on Facebook,
online.
yes.
So she's looking at you saying, okay, are you starting up something else? Because that's your MO.
Your Honor, I stopped on that.
All right. Now, you also have a lawsuit.
Yes.
Tell the court about it.
I paid $1,500 for a vehicle that he drives around in, takes himself to work with every day. So if he's cheating on me, I want my car back or my money for the car back.
So it's fully yours, you paid for it?
Yes, but he uses it more than me.
Okay, I understand. We're not gonna rule on it right now.
Okay.
We're gonna go back to the love suit and try to get to the bottom of this.
Ms. Ratti, because you had questions about Mr. Maines' activities, the court has ordered an examination of Mr. Maines' phone, and we have those results. At this point, the court would like to call cybersecurity expert, Mr. Gregory Evans. Ron, would you please escort Mr. Evans into the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Evans, you did a full forensic examination of Mr. Maines' phone, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and tell us what that involves.
Well, I went through his phone looking for deleted text messages, pictures, and I also did scan his social media as well. And I did find one thing that was very interesting to me.
Okay, what was that?
The defendant reached out to the same woman that's in question today, okay? Reached out to her on Facebook Messenger at 2:26 a.m. 3 days ago.
All right, and this is the woman, the same woman from the river.
Yes, this is the exact same woman from the river.
Mr. Maines?
That's not true.
Here it is right here, Your Honor. He had sent her a wave, which may seem very, there you go, just like that. It may seem very innocent, but at the same time, he took the time to locate her on Facebook, send that wave to her at 2:26 a.m. in the morning, but he did not add her as a friend.
2:26, I never stay up that late. I got work in the morning.
You waved at somebody.
I have no explanation at all.
Well, the good news is the court has also ordered a polygraph test for Mr. Maines, and we have those results. Ron, would you hand us those results, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Maines, you were asked, during your 2-year relationship, other than the time you admitted cheating, Have you had any sexual contact with women you messaged on social media? Your response to that question was no. The lie detector determined that you were being truthful.
Oh, good. Good.
But we have one more question. During your 2-year relationship with Miss Ratti, other than the time you admitted cheating, have you had sexual intercourse with any other woman? Your answer was no. The lie detector determined that you were being truthful.
That's good.
I love
Big
you, baby.
smile.
Thanks. I
love
love you too. Yeah, that's great news.
Miss Ratti, you still have a lawsuit for the
Yes.
car.
Yes.
Now that you know he's not cheating, do you want me to dismiss that lawsuit?
Yes, I do.
It's dismissed.